Welcome back to From the Bench Airways. Always, it's Eric, and today we're back with another PSA submission. This is part 2 of my recent PSA submission that I did with a bunch of the local guys around here. A bunch of us all put our cards together, shipped them off to PSA, and got them back just this week. So mainly hockey for me. There's a couple other stuff in there, but mainly hockey. I think I got one football, and then 4 lacrosse cards. You might be saying, what? They make lacrosse cards? They do for outdoor PLL. There's some early ones. So we'll get right into it, though. We'll turn the camera around. There's a lot of cards. I got like 47 cards. Not sure if I'm going to get through all of them. This might be a part 2, and then there might be a part 3. We'll see how long this video goes. So first off, I actually got this on a Whatnot auction. It's a Tim Stutzle from the Cup rookie enshrinement out of 99. It's 10 out of 99. Thicker card, everything else. But, I thought it was a good deal when I got it online on Whatnot. And it came back a 9. Which, if you guys know about like thicker cards and stuff like that, that's actually a pretty good, especially with like an acetate finish on the front of it. Everything else, like that's actually a really good grade for a thick kind of acetate kind of finished card. Auto's pretty good. Everything else, Stutzle's just down. The joys of not making the playoffs. Again, everyone had the hype for him. Everything else, but I still like Stutzle. I think he's going to be really good. Hoping they can get a little bit of a bump here. Next up, I've graded a couple of these. Mctavish. Out of 999, basic future watch. I think this was the redemption I had. I bought for a while, and then it just took forever for some reason to get it back from redemption. But sent it off and got a 9. So you might be saying, Eric, why'd you send it off? It is obviously super top heavy. I've sent off literally a couple of these, and every time they've come back a 10. The 2 other times I've done it, both came back 10s. You look at a lot of them online, a lot of them come back 10s. That's kind of where I base some stuff off of. A lot of his Future Watch autos, PSA 10s, they all actually have not great top to bottom centering. So that's why I kind of sent that off. So big fan of Mctavish. Big fan. 3rd overall, everything else. Plays both ways. Exciting player. I think they just kind of mailed him in at the end of the year. His numbers were actually pretty good for most of the year, and then I think like the last quarter of the year, last third of the year is either injuries, he was sitting out, everything else. But I say all that because I have a second card. I actually just got a shipment in too of another card. I'll probably do a mail day video for. But orange checkers, 3 out of 25 draft spot. That's a eBay 101 right there. So Mctavish, and it came back a 9. Same thing, I just kind of wanted this one in a slab. Off center a little bit, not crazy for this year platinum. If you guys kind of know 21, 22 platinum, there a lot of them are worse than that. It did have some like print lines and stuff. I don't know, you can kind of see it right there. The back of these are just kind of notorious for print lines and stuff, but same thing, I just wanted it to be in a slab, and once again, a 9. I'm happy with. If it came back an 8 or something like that, obviously I would have been too happy, but a 9, not too bad. Next up, this was one great big submission. I swear it gets better. Archer Silovs. I'm recording this after, game 6, them winning it. I actually graded 2 of these. I was trying to grade a couple of his base young guns, but I didn't have any that I felt good enough about sending. Because I remember hearing like Demko's kind of been nicked up, everything else. I said, well, what if they get this guy in, this young kid in? Maybe he could do something. Maybe he gets a little bit of hype behind him. Lo and behold, I get this back, and the guys get the starting net. So this one came back a 9. So, was hoping for a 10. This is actually already sold though. So after his game 6 heroics with the shutout, everything else, that's actually sold. So a bunch of this stuff I've already listed on my eBay, which is down below if you guys want to check out anything. But that's actually sold. So next up, it's a sweet one. Mattias Ekholm actually got a pretty good market, surprisingly. Not surprisingly, but like, wouldn't really think about it. Stuff sells pretty well. We got the Future Watch non-auto out of $9.99. They didn't make a Future Watch auto for him. And 2011, and it came back PSA 10. It's actually probably a pretty decent sized card right there with Matthias Ekholm. So as he tries to kind of get something going for the Edmonton Oilers, obviously they're off to the next round. But I guess, like I said, does he be like D-man number 1 right now? Next up, we got another one. Ekholm Young Guns. Thought I'd try this. I picked these up at a local show from a guy. I picked up a couple of the next few cards from him. And it came back at 9. This is also already sold. I'll put down below what it sold for. You guys would have seen it there. It's kind of why I grade some of these older guys. Low pop counts, everything else. People will still, a lot of times, pay a decent amount for the Young Guns. Even in a 9. So next up, Justin Falk, same year, 2011, 2012. Really good defenseman. Obviously has played for a few different teams since first donning the Carolina Hurricanes. But I got 2 of these, and the first one came back a 10. Kind of just, I don't want to say underrated defenseman, but I don't think he's underrated at any point. I think people kind of know who he is, but still, really good defenseman. Super low pop on that stuff, which is, once again, another reason why I kind of grade the older stuff. Got a second one, and it also came back at 10. So, couple Justin Falks, kind of turning the tide here on the 9s. Obviously, that stack was getting a little too high on the 9 side. So, Ryan Ellis, Matthias Ekholm. This is another, it's a staple over there with the Nashville Predators. Ryan Ellis, kind of a legend over there. And this one came back at 10 also. I think this would be like worth a little bit more. Just the same thing. Ekholm's worth quite a bit. Maybe the Ekholm just got the Edmonton bump. I don't know. But nice card to get a 10 in. Didn't even talk about backdrop. The Austin Matthews, which is actually sold. Since I recorded the first video, somebody hit buy before the video even came out for part 1 of this. Somebody hit buy it now on the Austin Matthews Young Guns canvas. I also, if you guys didn't check out on my card post, they made a post about my Austin Matthews Young Guns BGS 9.5 and the trade I got come back to my end for that. We got Nate searching for his second Stanley Cup. We got a lacrosse card back there, and Zed Williams at a 5 in the rainbow and a PSA 9, and we got the Young Guns acetate of Ivan Barbashev. But Philip Roenick, they're off to the next round. We got a 9 though. So Philip Roenick, D-man number 2 there. Obviously Quinn's gonna get all the love, but D-man number 2. Chandler Stevenson, I probably own half the pop count of Chandler Stevenson Young Guns. And came back another 9. I've yet to hit a 10 on this. I think I've sent like 4 or 5, but every time I sell them for pretty much make my grading fee back. So it's not that bad, but I haven't gemmed a single one yet, and I think I've sent like 4 or 5 now. So keep on swinging, I guess. Next up, Jason Garrison, kind of a legend, right? D-man, tough guy, everything else, everything you kind of want in a D-man. Played for a couple different teams. This is 2008, 2009, and it came back 9. So, once again, I was hoping. It's actually pretty clean. Like, I don't know, for a 08, 09 card, maybe I think it was that bottom corner, maybe, if you really want to get picky. But once again, that's fine. Worst things to hit. Next up, Patrick Sharp, handsome man himself. Back when he was with the Flyers, then obviously ended up with Chicago for a bit. win a couple of Stanley Cups, but 2002, 2003, came back another PSA 9. So same thing, I should be able to get the money back for the card and the grading, even after fees and stuff. With him come back a 9, so just not big pop counts. So if somebody's just like, hey, I want to have the set, I want to have a PSA set of these guys, of this draft class, of whatever it is, people will pay big money for it. So next up, Spetzer. Jason Spezza. I was talking to one of the guys here the other night when I was doing the recording for part 1. I actually have his first playoff game. I have a ticket. I went to that game. It was against the Devils. He actually had a point, 2 points. He had a goal and assist, or maybe just an assist, in a win. But this one wasn't a win. Wasn't a loss, I guess. Maybe it just went to overtime. We're still playing, but PSA 9. So I like this design. I don't know why. It's nothing too crazy, but I do like that 0203 design for sure. Next up, guy that was a bust. Big old bust. But his stuff randomly sells for a decent amount of money. So Alexander Frolov, Young Guns for the Kings. And came back at 10. It's a nice win there. Would I rather it be the Spezza? Yes. But still, nice little win there for a guy that, for whatever reason, if you guys know the reason why he actually has a pretty decent market, maybe it's just because not a whole lot of people graded him. Not really sure, but like I said, checking into things, he's actually got a pretty good market. So off to the Columbus Blue Jackets. We're getting some of the new stuff from 2023-24 Series 2. A lot of this stuff would have been things that I opened up in either my High Box series, my Blaster series, or my Tin series. So I opened up a full case of everything. Full case of Hobby, full case of Blasters, full case of Tins. So if you guys haven't yet, go check those out. They're on the channel. But Stanislav Svovil came back at 10. So I think we're already doing better than anything I graded for Series 1. I graded, was it 8 cards the last submission of Series 1 stuff, and went 0 for 8. I've yet to gem a card from Series 1, so there we go. I'm already up 1-0. Justin Surtiff, I randomly have his deluxe, and I randomly have a clear cut of his. So I said, you know what? Might as well send it. He's pretty young, in the farm system of the Panthers, but same thing. You never know. Maybe I kind of thought maybe they'd have a little bit of a playoff run, so maybe he gets kind of inserted in the lineup. All it takes is all of a sudden, boom, Justin Surtiff, has 2 goals in a Game 6 series win, whatever. And all of a sudden it's like, boom, he's got some cards. So for the $16 special American that this was, it was kind of worth it. So, and it was really worth it because it came back at 10. So it's kind of my thought process with it. Like, not everybody. It's usually, like I said, first round draft picks for me, high end guys that actually played, or guys that might have the chance of playing coming up here. So next up, Leo Carlson. I graded something from O-Pee-Chee. I know what, it's a yellow border, nothing too fancy, but it's a Leo Carlson. It came back at 10. So a lot of guys like grading O-Pee-Chee paper because it grades well. You don't have the finish. A lot of the corners and stuff are usually better. So worked out for me. This is also already sold. So next up, we're getting into the heavy hitter here. The heavy hitter. One Mr. Connor Bedard. The guy. He's here. What can I say? I didn't do crazy with Connor Bedard in any of my stuff. I hit literally 1 Connor Bedard in my Tins, 1 in the Blasters, and 1 in my Hobby case. So every case I got 1 Connor Bedard. So I sent all 3 of them off to get graded. And like I said, nothing too crazy. Didn't hit a clear cut or a silver outburst or anything like that. But we sent them off to get graded, and it paid off. So got a 10 on that. Pretty happy with that. That will be going off to Slab Sharks. They are running. If you guys have it yet, if you guys are looking to consign with Slab Sharks, 98% payout on that. So if I shipped it off myself or put it up on eBay myself on like $1,300, which is that's what they kind of go for right now, it's like $1,100 and some dollars if I sell it myself on eBay. If I get Slab Sharks to do it, I'm more like that $1,250 range, right? Actually more than that. So even with me shipping it there, everything else, I make more money typically selling it through Slab Sharks than I would otherwise. So take advantage of it. My sheet is down below if you guys want to use the sheet. You got to print it off if you want to help support me. Essentially, if you guys use the sheet that has my logo on the top of it, it's going to link in the bio down below or Instagram or wherever you guys want to try to find it. If you guys use the link, then I get 2% back on any of the profits, essentially. That's just kind of a deal I have with Slab Sharks. I just once again, always like to be transparent with you guys of kind of what I'm getting out of this if I'm going to recommend something. I've used Slab Sharks a couple times myself. I've had other people use Slab Sharks. Everyone's always been super happy with it. So second one on the list. One of these would have been from Hobby. One of them would have been from the Blasters. I do have the third one in here, but it's later on because I started putting this submission together, giving it to the guys. And then I did my 10 case, which ended up being afterwards. So the third Bedard is later on. But second Bedard, got lucky. Got a second 10. But it's pretty clean. It doesn't have that top corner. Maybe was the only thing I was kind of the top edge. But overall, pretty good. Just like that, we're catching up here. We're catching up. Picked up this at a show in Fredericton. Guy had this and a Stevie Y. Big Avs fan over here. And I decided to grab the Joe Sakic Young Guns Legend. The old tribute, but it came back a 9. That's just one for the PC. That right there, that's all that is. A nice little PC card for myself. So I like those. I have a Jeremy Roenick somewhere around here that I've had for a while that I picked up. Just a cool set from 2004. So lockout year. They kind of had to do something, right? Next up, Zach Benson. To make the team as such a young guy like Zach Benson, pretty impressive. Obviously, Buffalo's still struggling. Even now, missed the playoffs again. But this one did not miss. This one came back a PSA 10. Next up, we're going to do a third part for this because I'm too slow. I like talking to you guys. Once again, I could fly through these, or we can kind of just chat about why I decided to send certain guys, what I saw, everything else. Just this whole channel isn't for me to speed run everything. So there's lots of channels that do that stuff. There's lots of breakers that do that kind of stuff. I'm just here to kind of chat, have a good time, and kind of hear your guys' feedback as we talk through it. Kevin Korsinski, big D prospect number 1, I guess, for Chicago. We're hoping for some big things for him. It's him and then Mctavish for Anaheim are the two big defensemen in this Series 2. This one also came back, PSA 10. So doing pretty good. I'm going to finish off. This guy had a ton of buzz behind him. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. A ton of buzz behind him. Went on season-ending shoulder surgery back in February. Do they make it out of the first round? Do they? Game 7. Tonight when you guys are watching this. Do they do it? Obviously, he's not involved with it. He's gone for the year because of that surgery. But do the Bruins get there, or do they become... Who is it? Is it going to be Austin Matthews and his whatever injury? The Leafs are just holding everything close to the chest. With Nylander's, missing games, Matthews missing games now. Nobody knows why anybody is. That's kind of the thing behind hockey. Nobody ever knows why someone's hurt. But we got Matthew Poitras and also came back at 10. So we're finishing off with more 10s than 9s. doing really well. I got a bunch more. Once again, I have a stack here. Boom, boom, boom. We'll just, boom. There, it's in the screen. Get all those to review. We'll do that reveal on episode 3, part 3 of this. Might as well milk it for everything. I know I haven't been posting as much lately. I actually meant to get a box of Ultimate today, Friday, and I just never got around to it. Just life works busy. Hard to get over there, so I'm probably going to try to grab one this weekend, and then I'll do a first look video on Ultimate. Obviously, most of you guys have already seen it, but you know, nice to get a product, non-Bedard product, a 22-23. Who would have thought we'd be complaining about, you know, Bedard products? We thought we'd all be, you know, over the moon about Bedard products, and now everything's just way too expensive, and I don't really want to spend everything just to hopefully hit one guy. And if you don't hit that one guy, you are out hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's bad enough for some of these products when it's like, hey, it's a $250 product. If I don't hit anything, I'm out some. Most Bedard products are $500 plus. You know, even with his young gun, you have to hit his base young gun to not even really break even on a high box. You have to really, the price of them now, they're they're 400 and whatever dollars, and a high box is 400 plus tax. So for me in New Brunswick is $460 taxes in for a hobby box of Series 2. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me to open that kind of stuff. But yeah, once again, really happy with the first half of this. I'm trying to gem some super old stuff, right? So for me to try to gem a 2004 card, a 2002, another 2002, a 2008, a 2015, 2018, that's not that old, 2011 stuff. Like, I'm trying to gem some stuff that's pretty old. Who knows how they were taken care of, everything else. And I still ended up with some more 10s than I did, you know, my 9. So pretty happy with that. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want, there's a link down below for Card Ladder too. I do all my comps off of Card Ladder for everything when I do comps. You guys can check it out. Essentially, with your, you know, using eBay or 130 point, it works for like something like a Matthew Poitras, right? But all of a sudden you get into the 2004 Joe Sakic, or maybe the Jason Spezza or the Patrick Sharp. There's no comps on it on eBay or 130 point because it's been 2 or 3 months, and all of a sudden it, you know, doesn't go back that far. Card Ladder Pro, when you actually sign up for it and pay for it, you actually get back you know, the prices for years and years and years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. You get the sales from eBay, Golden, Heritage, PWCC, all those places. You get all the prices from all those places. So good little tool to have, especially if you guys are comping a lot of stuff or buying a lot of stuff. You like odd stuff. It's a good tool to have. So do that. Check out the Slab Sharks link down below also for my forum. For Eric from the bench. Talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.